Hello, everybody. Tom here with the post-launch dev stream for Carpoon. I said I wouldn't stream anymore leading up to launch. Now it's after launch, and yeah, it's pretty exciting to have one of the biggest goals I ever set for myself happen, where Carpoon is now out. Let me hide the widescreen test. It's out on Steam. You can get it. There's still a launch discount until I believe August 21st. I put it on sale for like 38% off. It's not much if you want to check it out. Great twin stick car harpooning action for 1 to 4 players. And yeah, I was pretty tired after launch. And there was a 4K bug that I fixed. And ultrawide's a bit better, but I picked up an ultrawide monitor. It's down there on my floor, so I can switch between it for testing today and work on maybe some other quality of life things. And later, not today, but in the future, I'll also throw in the odd game stream and stuff like that. I think I wasn't sure how long I'd keep working on Carpoon after launch, but like I wasn't sure what my feeling would be, but I still want to do a bit more, and I always set out the goal of creating the monster truck boss. So once a couple quality of life improvements are in there and the ultra wide is better, I'll be working on the monster truck boss, which already has all the art done. So it's just a matter of figuring out the gameplay. Hello, Antonio. How you doing today? Thank you for tuning in again. I hope if you think of something better than post-launch, some sort of pun like we had road to completion before, maybe like post-launch roadmap. I don't know. It could just be roadmap in the future. But for the ultra wide, I actually went to one of those things called a store and bought it because shipping was going to be a while. So I hauled the monitor back. Fortunately, it was not too huge. Anyway. With Carpoon, I will show a quick round later. I'll show you. Oh, hello, Oscar. We were just talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza earlier. Congratulations. It does sound like a huge game. No spoilers on the end, please, because Antonio still has to beat it, and I still have to play it. I did say after finishing Carpoon and launching it, I would get Switch 2, but I do have to do some updates first, and then I'll get it and enjoy it. No, now you're saying beating it, beat the final boss. You're not like, or do you mean like you got every single banana in the game? Yeah, but no, exciting. You're like already caught up for whatever's next from Nintendo. Like there is Drag X Drive, but that one, I think that one's going to depend on updates. Oh, that's awesome. Doing a little bit of post game. Okay, very nice. Very nice. And this stream today won't be too long, which is too bad because longer streams do better. But it is going to be a hot day today, so I would like to not melt and doing stuff later like some potential Carpoon trailer editing is not too exciting. So here's our player select area, and kind of to see to make this, I want to focus on making this better for ultra wide first, because currently it's kind of squished. I'll show that, and I might have to just center it. I might add pieces on the side, but I do have to zoom out at the very least. So I will show that, and it's going to be hard for me to flip through the monitors, but we'll see how it goes. Oscar, have you been doing anything else in the summer? Or like any summer activities? I can tell you I've just been mostly working on launching a video game, so I look forward to some summer stuff soon. So this is, now I get to look down at the floor where my ultra wide is. So you see, these should be pretty good now. I have to, you see the rope? I'll fix where the rope's coming from. It's a little bit low. Oh, going to the beach with your life coach. That's a pretty good summer event. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you get good weather. So yeah, currently in this screen, you can see it's a bit, I wonder if it's easier if I put it up more. It's kind of a little bit cropped, you see, so I want to zoom out and improve that. I might create a different camera only for this room and widescreen. See the logo floating there. And one other thing is somebody wants a way to go back to the main menu, which is fair, so I might add that option too. For the camera, I'm thinking of doing a static camera on widescreen, or just making it so it pans left and right. So we'll see. Yeah, over here, I'll probably, if I wake up early one day, I'll try to set out a goal to go on a 60-kilometer bike ride. I've mostly been doing up 30 or 40, so I had an area I want to bike to. I've done way further in the past, but not for a while, so that's what I'm gonna, that's my summer goal. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Drag X Drive. Well, I guess not, of course, but it is $20, so it's not much. And is developed by 20 people. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's different than the ARMS team. I kind of assumed the ARMS team, even though they're busy with Mario Kart. So it's kind of maybe unfair with comparison there. Currently I'm just looking for the camera for the player select area. It's different because it's static compared to the other cameras. So there's a funny story where I had my friends help me record the launch trailer and they recorded the machines. And then after I find out in OBS there's an option for hardware acceleration that I didn't have. I was just using CPU power. So I did find out OBS is better at handling the lava level, for instance, now, which was pretty kind of intensive with the conveyor belts on my laptop. So anyway, I found it too late, but at least I found it for future streams and recording. Recording trailer footage was like too slow in that level in OBS. Like I could play it, but when it came to recording my screen at the same time, it was slow. There is one game that I want to play pretty soon, other than Devstream. It's, I don't know exactly how you say it, but it's ooh, or maybe it's like ooh. 3 O's. The first one has 2 dots above it, and it's made by the developer of Electhead. I did play the demo earlier, and it was good, but that game came out the same day as Carpoon. It has had many great reviews. Sounds like a great puzzle game where you're a bomb caterpillar and you kind of drop bombs to get through different puzzles. Oh, yeah, Oscar. Chibi Road was back. I won't be able to play that one just yet. But it was interesting because there was just that miscellaneous game very much inspired by Chibi Robo last month. So it's kind of unique timing where this came out after. It's like maybe they had to, the miscellaneous team wanted to get their game out first before this one. Yeah, but now I get to compare. I never played one before, so I'll get to see the difference. Yeah, I interviewed them last year, so, but I haven't seen anything about it since. Hopefully the development's still going well. Sounded like they had a neat idea, a neat spin on it. Okay, here's our camera control here. I'll probably, I'll make a backup of the player select room. And I'll make a backup of this script. Probably have to find it outside of room order. Like when it comes to making this, I'll probably have to break apart the pieces potentially for this room for the easy way around it. Well, but thank you guys for all your support over the different dev streams. It helped make it a lot more fun leading up to launch. And it was motivating to try to have progress every week. So I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, Nintendo has a lot of little updates. Oh, thank you, Antonio. I'm sure we'll come up with something while we're walking around. My trying to not I've been trying not to think of as many puns all the time. Or I was so tired I passed the good point for creating puns. It's like if I was working on surfing, it could be launch wave. That's a potential update I want to do later, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles inspired surfing level. And Oscar, we're gonna have probably more updates soon from Nintendo for Gamescom, and I'm guessing that and Penny Arcade Expo will be the same. There's Mina the Hollower at 120 frames per second, that demo, which I cannot play, but I suggest you try it if you haven't already. And Is This Seat Taken? That was a good indie demo. So I was trying to start off, like I detect if it's ultra wide based off the ratio. I think it was like 2.33 is ultra wide. And I'm saying if it's greater than 2.1. And I just had to zoom out. Yeah, Gamescom begins very soon. People are already on their way there. So, um, I don't think I'll be watching opening night though. I'll only watch select trailers after. The better thing to do, I find, is to play actual demos that are out. Okay, this is because of the secret bonus, secret bonus stage. I think here, this zoom, I might have to adjust. So I'm just gonna try to force it and see what happens. And I turned off GameMaker Live for the launch version. I'll turn some of that back on in case I can adjust numbers on the fly here. Yeah, Nintendo is going there, which basically just shows at the end of the Switch generation, they probably figured a lot of the trade shows didn't make sense for them. So they didn't have a booth to save money. And now that they have a new product again to advertise, they're doing more of that. That's my take on it. Okay, I will open up GameMaker Live. Which is opening on the ultrawide. No, I'm guessing at Gamescom we'll probably get Kirby Air Riders, considering how Sakurai teased it, and I wonder if they'll show anything else. Like, will they just show Pokemon? What is it? ZA, Pokemon Legends ZA, even though I want to say ZA, and they could just do that, and they could be fine. Maybe they'll have one other surprise, but as we've talked about before, they also have Metroid. Maybe just seeing Kirby Air Riders and having it playable is enough. Like, ideally, there's one more thing, but they don't have to. Yeah, people were playing it at a LA event. Nintendo sent press there for it, or a Pokemon company sent press there. I'll do this so it's easier to get it later on. I'm thinking of doing like maybe a weekly or bi-weekly just play session of Carpoon in the Carpoon Discord. Probably on weekends, but I'll see what time works out for everybody. Sorry, Antonio, with your Mac. It makes it harder, although I think it is somewhat possible. We had that controller issue last time. I might try more on my Steam Deck, although I don't think that supports Steam Link. So I'm going to override this here. So you basically know what it's going to be. Screen width times... I'd like to see what these numbers are. I think that would help. Let's do that. I'm going to print out these numbers. Yeah, so here in Carpoon, you can see if you press number 2, you can see the frame rate. I was finding with my monitor when I was going to 4K, it was slow, and that was because the frame rate, the refresh rate was 30 hertz, which is like 30 frames per second, and Carpoon's a little bit tied to that. Like, it's designed to run at 60, so that's something I can look into later. But I think for the most part, most monitors will be at least 60 frames a second. Oh yeah, I almost got it backwards here. Okay, so let's see, and then we can test if I can modify it, hopefully without compiling again. Post-launch round. Well, it made me laugh, Antonio, so I'll write that down as one idea. I don't just want it to end though, even though like eventually it will. I want it to like continue, like blasting off. But post-launch roundup is good. It might be the roadmap. It might be roadmap later because the roadmap's like continuing to expand. But I love the yeah. We could have the hats update. You could have a cowboy hat. You know. Yeah, it made me smile, as you see. Yeah, I can consider now Carpoon Jr. on Playdate 2 at some point, but I have a few other goals to do first. That one I don't think would do very well. The Playdate, I'd have to like be able to finish it within a month. The Playdate audience is not large. Okay, we got that. And compiling. Excuse me, I'm just gonna get some water so I don't die later today, but I'm back. Okay, let's see what type of data we're getting. Did I once again press the wrong button for compiling? Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, I have to change this here. There we go. That was one of the backups earlier for a script that I didn't change the name yet. I hope everyone I hope everyone gets UFO 50 now that it's on Switch. It's been my favorite game the last year to go back to. Probably just because it helps me relive the NES era. It's over. The text is going over where it's supposed to be. You got it. Excellent. Yeah, I was playing a bit of Sunset Overdrive the other day. That's one of the last games. But if you have a friend, Party House is great. I don't know. There's a ton of great ones in there. Oh, I didn't do that there. That's too bad. Well, let's see if we can. Let's see if we can just change a number to see if that part works at least. What if we... Okay, that. I think we got to make sure it's now the same ratio. There is a formula to do this. And I know it's very easy just to look to look up. I saw it the other day, so it's not quite enough height yet. I think. This is too bad. It doesn't keep. I wonder if I can. Let me see if I can do a window capture of Carpoon. No, that's too bad. It doesn't let me window capture Carpoon, so I'll have to just flip back to it. Okay, I'll just do the width there, and we'll see if that fixes it. That might be the easy answer. Oh, nope. I think it was in a Sarah Spalding video about resolution, so I'm going to do that as a quick refresher.
The biggest benefit of using Adobe Express is how easy it is to take all of the elements that I've developed for a brand.
Resolution is something you need to get right early on in your game project because it determines 40 by 360. We'll keep the width the same since we know that already fits quite nicely. So how much do we need to increase our height by? Well, if we divide 920 by 1200 or 16 by 10, this value shows us how much the width of our target resolution is bigger than the height. That's 1.6 times bigger. This is what aspect ratio means.
All right.
Pixels of width, there is 10 pixels of height. So if
So we might have to figure out the aspect ratio.
by 1.6, we get our target height. And if you want to get target width, you can multiply your original height by this number. So our final height should be 640 divided by 1.6, which is 400. So then in GameMaker, for example, we can change our application surface and view size to match. You can even detect whether you need to scale target width. You can multiply your original height by 640.
Okay, well, that's basically what we want to do. We want to get the aspect ratio and divide by it. So if I go I'll go var aspect ratio. Yeah, this image is 1920 by 1200. Probably doesn't have to be. I could probably just. I'll leave it as is. I can always change it. And we want to divide by the aspect ratio here. Feels weird. Like, could I just set it to the height of the monitor? Like, that sounds... I'll try that after. Like, it sounds like the most straightforward way to do things. Yeah, so one idea I have over the sides is to have the player sort of avatars appear. Or I'd have to create an area for them. If I wasn't going to make this really wide. Nope, I think I did the opposite. It's a funny effect though, how it drives really slowly left and right, but quick up and down. It's like, can this just be that? Will that work? Oh, that's way too zoomed in. It looks correct though, so it might be that divided by 2 stuff later. I'm gonna go times 2. Because you see here I divide by 2, so if I only put it here, I don't need another if statement later. Okay, that's closer. So I could draw I either extend the width or draw like blue in the background below it. And this doesn't make... I want to duplicate this. It doesn't make much sense. Because I'm basically getting very close to just saying the display width and height. So let's just try that. You can see the... Why did I put it... Why did I leave a jump pad way up in the top and a mouse cursor? Okay, that cursor is just me moving, but I'll have to delete that jump pad that's just running there for all time. You can't see it, it's under me. I'll turn off my camera. There it is, so I'll get rid of that. And yeah, we have a lot of space on the edges. I could put character portraits there. But I think this is nicer for players. Like, I could also push up the bottom, but then I also have to do some work with the collision detection. Oh yeah, this was a dice option I had thought, like if I wanted to do random settings at one point. Okay, well, basically I might have to extend this. I'm very, very worried to try opening Photoshop at the same time while having OBS open. Let's add some edges right now. And all these updates I'll probably put live later on the Carpoon beta branch. Like if you go into Steam and you right click and kind of go Carpoon beta test under betas, like you have to type in that password, you can unlock it. Right now it's the same as the live build, but later I'll be doing that. Oh, this used to be street. Okay. Or it still is, but if I do something like this and change the color, that might work. I guess if you want to make a game for Mac, you need to Mac yourself to test it. Well, that's the thing. Like, I have one friend who could compile it on Mac. So maybe when I'm back at seeing him, I'll ask him to at one point. But then we'd have to test it, and it'd be very hard to like actually fix anything without his continued help. So yeah, I'd just be like hoping that it works fine when they compile it. So that's the issue with Mac. And then it has to be like only like a major update later on. So I can only make it really once. And then if other people have problems, like I wouldn't want to be bugging that friend to be compiling it all the time. So you not only need a Mac to test it, but to actually compile it, you need a special Mac developer license, which costs money. And the Macs I had were like too old to compile with, unfortunately. A lot of these layers are just compatibility instances from when I brought this over from GameMaker Studio 1 to GameMaker Studio 2. I used to be able to tell the number of hours I spent by running it from Steam, but eventually I stopped that. It's easier just to leave it open at times and not feel like I had to close it and open it again in the last couple of years. Oh, this happens sometimes. This is a funny bug. So sometimes when like the computer's doing too much, the Steam, it'll forget all the things it needed to know for Steam. Yeah, I forgot all that. Well, you can't see it, but it forgot it. So I'll have to type it all in again. So what is it? Okay. It's happened so many times I just left a note for myself. But lately it's been good. It's probably just I'm streaming today, so that puts more pressure on the SSD. Oh, no. Invalid SDK. Oh yeah, I didn't choose the correct folder, the subfolder. There we go. So we can see the road would have to go over a bit more. Probably like right to there. That might crash it. So I think that doesn't update in this stage, but let's see. So that purple bar on the left, so when I changed, I'd probably aim for that light blue color in the junkyard. And from here I can decide if I want to do different truck avatars as players load in, or extend the junkyard itself. I'll risk opening Photoshop, see what happens. Having GameMaker or testing GameMaker on the ultrawide means the ultrawide has to be the main monitor, so everything's opening up on it. We can probably figure out the exact size. So if the monitor is 2560 minus 1920 So each side will be 320. I'll have to test it again later for 3440 by, I think it's 1440 resolution. I'm lucky that I can output to that on this monitor. Yeah, so I can do this and it's a hard edge, or I can do a feathered edge. That might be okay. All right, well, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but we'll see. Something for the time being, and I'll take a look at some other small things. I'll probably have to do more of it when I'm not streaming. Oh, I should have just got exactly the color of it. That's too bad. So this is something I found out later. You can just create an asset layer. Not everything has to be an object. And I can just drop it in like that. I could probably just make this bigger. Whoop. The resolution stuff I did earlier, I'll have to make sure there's a ratio to it for the larger ultra wide screen size. Let's see if we can fix the rope on the objective. That'll bug me. It's something to think about. So we had a request to be able to go back to the main menu if I want to have that an option when you're at the end of the game, or if it could be elsewhere. And I might try one of these two if you're holding it to press the left bumper and cycle through it. There's a constructive feedback in one of the reviews. Like, I'm surprised I didn't get tired of that myself, probably because I didn't always change options. There's that, and eventually I want it so it saves what settings you had. So you can keep going each match. Saving options is not fun in GameMaker. I found a way that made it a bit easier though. This I already had to make the street wider on ultra wides, but just the rope start isn't quite right. All we have to do really is the start and end. Fix that and we'll be good. We can put all that in here to adjust it. Probably add a guide in Steam at some point just to make it easier. Some of the quick hotkeys to skip through things. I added a tool tip about using left and right bumpers for the changing the player colors, for instance. Sometimes the tool tips load super quick. I wish the OBS screen was like a little bit bigger. I'll try just playing on that instead of widescreen. It's not like Elgato. There's no delay. Okay, so that's wrong. And that's from changing it to one here. This is just one. But that probably should be display height divided by 1080. Because 1080 is what the regular resolution is. Still a little low. Let me check what rope X shift is. That's getting closer. See if you can really move it. I've made it 100. So yeah, maybe 50. If I add a whole bunch of lines, you can kind of see what I'm doing down below. Oh, that's close. Let's try the lucky number 64. Yeah, that's what I call good enough. Yeah, if you press the tilde key, it does reset back to the main menu. It's basically tilde through the number 5. I've put all the special hotkeys there. Like number 3 and 4 will adjust time during a match. Okay, great, that's fixed. I can put all this at the beginning too. It doesn't have to be running every frame. Here though, I'm not seeing the two images. Probably. Whoa. I also. We can go anywhere now. I turned off the collision detection. Woo! Freedom. Yeah, I'll still be here, but I made the other layers invisible. We had someone asking how to get this achievement. Yeah, break. It's like frog fractions when you just go into the pond. Okay, well, I will pause and see if I can. I might have to make those in layers an object or put them way up higher. So this stuff here, this is all good now. I'll just copy it. We only need it to run once. So as long as it's here. Kind of wondering why they aren't showing. Okay, so this is definitely a background. I could make the edges objects. I mean, in the end, I'll probably need an object, and it's not many objects in this stage. Kind of surprised that's getting depth correctly. Ultra wide side has a nice ring to it. might have been, this might have the depth set in the create event. Yeah, minus 2000. So using that, I could probably match exactly where to go. Considering I'd want to extend the edges, maybe I should. Maybe I should just keep it below. For now, I shouldn't. I'm tempted to see what it'd be like though. If it'd just be better for players to get it out sooner. It's a lot of layers with nothing here. Like a lot of stuff in Carpoon is just done by its set depth, so in reality I didn't need as many layers. It does make it easier finding stuff for the levels when they're set up. We'll see if we can hood it above it here. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, let's see how the sprite's set up. Oh no, I did that. I don't like that option. We'll also put everything here after to do adjustments on the fly. Let's grab the GameMaker Live code. Oh no. How did that get rotated? Let's see how that turned out. I'm gonna grab some coffee. Okay, let's see how that turned out. And I spilled coffee all over the floor, which was amazing because that mug was half full. So click into here. see if the objective, yep, looks good. Woo! I think because I scaled the image huge, it's covering where I want it to go. I'll also check that somehow the player select code didn't get deleted. Okay, that's still there. 1,000. Okay, that's different than. Oh yeah, I could have changed. I could have changed the scale and code. All right, let's see this, and if not, I'll start taking a look at changing the options quicker. Like, I don't think it would be too bad to create different art for the player select area. I'd have to fill in some of it in the top. But then I'd also have to move everything out, and some of the options kind of move twice, so there'd have to be a lot of bug testing there. Where did the background go? Well, at least I can move out the edges. Slightly concerned why the background isn't moving now. Okay, so these minus my width. I don't think this one, I don't think I have to add width. I think it's okay. I'll check it next. Okay, now I do have to add. All right. It almost have to be more though. It's like you can see at the edge, it's not overlapping yet. Curious to get the background back in there. I might have deleted the draw event. Okay, we got that there, so we can change it on the fly. I'll move down. See. Try to see what's happening. I don't think I changed the order of O game. I'll check where that is though. Yeah, here we go. O game. I'll name it. Okay. That's kind of weird. Ever since that time I rotated it by accident. Let's see where Oh, game is ending up. Maybe I turned on some sort of layer. I'll change the depth to. Okay, well that's doing something. So something I turned on a layer in between by the looks of it. Let's see these sides. I think if they move in 80 pixels, it should be okay. And what what did I turn on here? At least that's easier, I think, knowing it's a depth issue. Turn off that background layer, because I think that might actually be doing something. But how are those edges looking now? Yeah, that's kind of what I want to see. So the top sky would have to be filled in. But they might honestly be better black. And yeah, it might be more fun to leave those as player spots. Okay, let's change its depth back to 1000 and we'll work on that key issue. Rolling credits. It's a bunch of barrels. Congratulations, Antonio. We have two Donkey Kong Bonanza credit rollers in chat today. Was it everything you could have hoped for? Is it a must-play game? Can you play the credits? Oh, they hit it out of the park. Well, that's great to hear. I was very excited for whatever Nintendo of Tokyo was going to put together for Switch 2. So that was like my most hyped game because I knew Zelda wouldn't be anytime soon. No, congrats. Oh, that is the wrong object. Oh, don't tease me, Oscar. I don't speak in code. I don't think there's spoilers. I'm pretty sure I can guess who the final boss is, but I don't want that verified. I'll be happy to talk to you about it when I see it with my own eyes. tell you this isn't working quite as planned just yet. I use myself for spacing. Yeah, the widescreen. That might be off. I feel like something might be happening to its scale there, so I'll have to take a look later. Like if I search now, yeah, no, it doesn't seem to be, don't seem to be changing the scale. Okay, let's just do a quick check if we can get the time switching quicker. Or even paint for that matter. Like paint. Well, if you harpoon and press a button, like you can change that at any time. I will have to make sure later too everything's fine. Back on normal 16:9 resolution. check in the player code what I did for the paint can and try to apply that to this. Hardest part is probably just making sure. No, it doesn't matter. I was thinking like it can only affect one of them, but the time affects everything in the match. Okay, so the paint can might be in the player end step event. Okay. Man, I wonder where I tell. It's been a long time since I said this one. This harpoon paint can. Okay, so I did set it here. Let's just make sure. Okay, if it's grappling and we detect a button pressed by that player, we can change time. Okay, so here's grappling. Okay. I have to add like a little timer at first, so you can't just do this instantly. Hello! Oh, thank you for dropping by. So GM Kitchen, that I believe is, yeah, the where I got the input plugin from. Thank you. That was very handy in development. Here you see I'm probably using it now. One thing I do think of down the road is to maybe have customizable controls, but I didn't do that at first because then I also couldn't quite visualize how I would do all the different sort of player settings for each customizable controls and saving them. No, but what have you worked on over there in the past? Yeah, it's a chore. So I got it out though, so there's less time pressure. So maybe like down the road, it's something I can do. And do you have a game yourself that you worked on, or do you mostly do plugin work? Yeah, input. Okay, well that's great. No, I wish I found input earlier. It made it so much easier for controller support. Like I had, it'd always be hard with like Switch Pro controllers. I'd be like bringing it to events and always like the Switch Pro controller wouldn't work. So that was great. Oh, thank you for your efforts. Yeah, it seems that way. He's in the credits of many games or seeing what he's done. He's definitely up there for a GameMaker support. No, thank you. Yeah, mostly I want to add rebinding just so my game is more friendly for accessibility. But I know the audience isn't huge, so but I want to be considerate. I'll say I wish I found out about GameMaker earlier. I kind of found out about it at one point just because when Flash died, that's what I used the most. But then I found out like GameMaker now it's been around 25 years. Like I could have found out about it way earlier. It would have been nice, but I guess I didn't come across it, and neither did any of my friends. No, but thank you very much over there. Yeah, so I found with post-launch now, I've been trying to add a bit more ultra-wide support, and I added better 4K support last week. I had a bug where I had been testing over a Steam Deck to my 4K TV, but I didn't test from my PC to a 4K TV, and there was some scaling issues, but I fixed that quickly. So, but no, just going to continue on for a bit and see how it goes. Maybe I'll consider swapping over to the newer version of input later on. I'm sure it works better. I think there's one thing in the menu where I just kind of check through all the controllers. That might have to be redone. Yeah, use what works, yeah. Okay, so yeah, like I think you can still use Flash for animation even. So it's because they just changed it to Adobe Animate or something like that. But no, it was really easy to use, but GameMaker was pretty similar. So I was lucky in that regard. And I just chose what I felt was like the easiest option at the time. Like when I started, Godot wasn't out yet. Unreal didn't really have 2D support. And I believe Unity cost more and it seemed more complicated, like with C# coding. So yeah, I found it before it went to a subscription model. So I have my one-time purchase with some of the output plugins. And of course, it's still being used, but I guess like UFO 50 used it, but I don't see it in a lot of projects. Like when I go to different game events, some people use it, but the majority do just seem to use Unity still, or Godot these days. So I think with the aspect ratio stuff, though, what's going to be a problem is my camera kind of zooms in and out to bring in a lot of things. So I might, for ultra wide support, just kind of make it a static camera that scrolls left and right. If I can't get it working, or at least do that as a starting issue. Because the camera already is kind of, almost kind of jumpy in some levels. I improved it a lot, but I worry about breaking stuff in the main game for the ultra wide camera. Anyway, let's. So this, I'm gonna have to make sure I get the correct player and go for that. So not everyone can just change the time at any time. I'm trying to make it so if you grapple and hit the clock, you can cycle through the settings quicker instead of harpooning it every single time. That was one of the reviews, had feedback about that. Okay. This one I might not be getting the player from it. It's always doable in some way, but can I do it in a decent way? Oh yeah, I did put the input credits line in the Carpoon credits too. I did see that. Here, I'll run it for you. Hopefully I didn't create a crash bug in Carpoon in the meantime here, but let's see it. I thought, oh yeah, I already I thought the credits was going to be super short, just mostly me and my composer friend, but then I found enough thank yous that it's actually decently long. Okay, here we go. Should be, here we go. So is it pronounced Alin? Oh, but thank you for fixing the bugs too along the way. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. I hope it just helps other people using GameMaker also find the input library if they check it. I think one of my friends, he had already found it, who was using it in an upcoming project. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah, Antonio, that'd be fun. Like, I had different ideas. Like, you could have like the trucks kind of driving by, hauling cars and stuff. But then I was like, I should finish my finish my game and get it done. Like stuff like playable credits, like in Smash Brothers. So, yeah, I went with the simple option. Like I already have the bonus level where if you rip apart the start lever, you go to that secret area. So that already took like a day longer than I thought. No, but now the game's out, I can have the player truck surfing. I can I can do that in the island level. Okay, I think I might be able to get it now. Hopefully that works. Then we'll have to check if it has a player. Because even even in the player select area, the rope can be cut. And I'm mostly glad I finally have most of my energy back today after launch. I'll see what the afternoon says, but I was kind of tired going after launch. I admittedly finished the launch trailer the day before. And by day before, I mean very late in the very late in the night. Yeah. Getting some rest. Went on a bike ride yesterday. Only for an hour. Played some Sunset Overdrive and UFO 50. Allowed myself a day off. Okay, get a reference to the player. So we'll go, I don't know. This I'll have to check later to make sure once the player stopped harpooning it that it's okay. But I think with this grappling, it should be okay. It's a fun challenge earlier on, making it so multiple, when I added multiplayer in, so keeping track of multiple players connecting to one object and having them let go at different times. I ended up using a DS list, which I found out later doesn't get deleted in memory in GameMaker. So that's something I try to improve a bit before launch, deleting those. I don't know, knowing that if I would have changed to arrays though, that would be hard to cycle through them and sort them. I think I found out there's something else. There's someone else made like something like DS list that acts like an array and gets deleted in GameMaker. I would swap to that in my next project. I should write a note because I'm going to forget that. Okay, and we'll go. In theory, that should work. Some of this might be broken. Yeah, like I'm sure it probably changed since then. Like GameMaker, when I started, did not have some of that user interface stuff, or didn't have the it didn't let you visualize particle systems. So it's definitely new stuff I can dive into. Like I did do particle system stuff. The UI, I just kind of kept my regular system in, but doing that would save a lot of time in new projects. Like I remember doing a Unity tutorial because what started this is Tom Francis did a how to make a game in GameMaker tutorial series, and I did that. But he did one for Unity too, and I'm like, he did the user interface stuff in Unity. I'm like, wait, this is way better, and I believe GameMaker added it later. I was very lucky and got to meet Tom Francis once, and he played Carpoon and gave some feedback. He played it more than everyone else at the event that night, just to thoroughly understand how it worked. Oh, that's still bad. I'm gonna have to undo that, or I probably broke how the scaling works for one person. But anyway, let's check the time on versus. Oh yeah, I've been getting through Gunpoint. No, I've been getting through Tactical Breach Wizards. Yeah, he finished it late last year. They were working on it for about 6 years, and highly recommend it. Excellent tactics game. I'm not quite done yet, but I will be soon. Yeah, he did Gunpoint and he did Heat Signature after, and Heat Signature was apparently very tough for him, so he brought on another programmer because it's kind of like an open world space game. But for Tactical Breach Wizards, they went to Unity. It looks like now he's trying out Godot for the next game. Okay, nothing yet. So I didn't quite get it. Okay, so we've had much discussion on the server about how to do the press to join prompt. I just leave these here, and I just keep checking if somebody presses A, I believe. So like, if I'm on this one, I can join in. I then have a different one if I press a keyboard, so it's like a different type of player slightly. One thing though is that, I guess being new to programming, I didn't add a dropout function because then I have to like undo stuff. I just make it so you reset players. And I only let them join in here, so. And I think only once I have 4 players, I lock it in. And then also once you move to the like actual game in Carpoon, you lock in. So let me see here. Kind of interesting. So you'll probably look at it and be like, "Oh, that's horrible," but I'll see if I can bring it up. Okay, I'll close a bunch of windows, or I'll start getting lost. Okay, so in choose your players. It's probably in here. Yeah, so I check. This is where I think I'm using like the old input style. I'm checking through 12 different controller spots, and I just see if they press a button, and I make sure it hasn't been used. And from there, then I go, okay, and I create the player. So I believe it's kind of that. That was the main reason why I didn't switch to the newer input. And it was kind of like something that made sense for me with how I programmed it. I was getting scared at one point because I was starting to get double input again, where like pressing one button was creating 2 trucks, but that was just, I think my computer or something was running so slow at the time or needed to be updated. Yeah, I think it was Steam Deck. Steam Deck, it was on a beta branch of Steam OS, and they had done something that screwed it up, so I just got rid of the beta mode and it was fine. Yeah, but it was like, this is a bug I don't want to see 2 weeks before launch. Yeah, so that's what I do, and I just, if it's a keyboard press, or you click it, it'll kind of toggle the different settings to say it's keyboard player. Yeah, so I just keep searching for that in the player select area with those A buttons. Yeah, well, SteamOS is Linux, so good luck. Good luck to you. I wouldn't want to be doing that, so, but we appreciate your hard work. Oh yeah, it's never fun when just something new comes along. Like I'm sure that's gonna happen with Carpoon, where something will update, and I'll be busy and I'll have to go in and fix it. From the sound of it. Yeah, because I've only ever tested Proton. None of my friends have Linux. The closest thing is like some of my friends have Mac, and I only have one friend that might be able to export a GameMaker project on Mac. So that's why there's no Carpoon Mac version. But fortunately, like for Antonio in chat, we found out like with Steam Link, one Mac user can join in on a remote play game. I think that makes sense. Like I guess like only, does the game run faster in Linux normally? But And oh, that's interesting, Oscar. I forgot that it was still going. I guess it makes sense. Sunday still. Yeah, they probably released new details just to be ahead of Gamescom coming up. Steam input has been hopelessly broken on Mac for 6 years. Maybe the one guy who cared about Mac at Valve went on to another project and just kind of left it. I listened to, I don't know his last name, but Chet Fauslik. He worked on Left 4 Dead and eventually like left and created his own Left 4 Dead like, and he'll talk about times at Valve sometimes. He was like one of the old man Murray writers. And yeah, he was saying how like they had something similar to Discord, for instance, but then that guy just went to another project and left it. Oh well. Nope. Oh, that's cool, Oscar. 4-player would be pretty fun. I always joke, is this going to be the Pokemon game that brings me back in? But I think that's going to be getting through Beastie Ball, which is 3D and also in GameMaker. It's a time to create. I don't know if that's what happened, but I'll say a former Valve employee did leave for Apple and worked on an iOS game support, so I might be correct. Yeah, you just never know. And I guess Mac isn't the biggest market for Valve, so I'm sure if they saw it picking up or if it's something they wanted to focus on, they'd bring it in, but probably they got their hands full with their own operating system now. Let me make sure I'm using the right button. Oh yeah, Oscar, that makes sense. Of course, announcing the next one. And if I connect one Xbox controller, Steam makes a virtual controller, and then thinks of real controllers, so it makes a new virtual controller, and so on until every index is full. Apple also created virtual controllers in macOS, so imagine the problem's worse now. Okay. Yeah, that was the one part about Carpoon that was tricky at first, because I was using real Xbox 360 controllers for so long in that first 0 to 3 range that I didn't realize my friends were having a problem with Bluetooth Xbox controllers. So fortunately, some of them let me know, and that's where input eventually helped me fix that problem of the 0 to 3 and then 4 to 11 range. No, but I could see that. That sounds very bad. That sounds like a problem I never want to deal with ever. Yeah, not great. Antonio, I'm worried. I'm worried for the Mac build of Carpoon that I'll try one day. No, although I did a game jam, I did global game jam this year, and we used input, and that was fine for a twin stick game on my friend's Mac that could export it. Can you get it on Switch? Do you mean input? Input, I believe, is a library that does work well with Switch, for especially for losing controllers. That's something I didn't do with Carpoon. If you lose the controller, I didn't do it so it tries to find it again. That's something I might add in later. Oh, can you get Carpoon on Switch? That's maybe a goal I'll try for later. You do kind of need a company or publisher or ties. Well, Switch 2, I don't think, like Switch 2 will be easier in terms of performance, but probably just having the Switch audience and being able to play it on both would be the best bet. No, but it is something I think about. So we'll see. Might have to do this. Yeah, okay, well that's great to hear the barrier to Switch dev is pretty low. I had one friend working on Captain Soda, or like one person I know from any events, and he got a publisher to bring it out there. Switch 2, I think Switch 2 has to be like a barrier where they're only working with partners with really big games they've known for a while. Like, of course, Deltarune or Mina the Hollower coming up. Nitrome did Bomb Chicken. I don't feel like Switch 2 is necessary. I don't even have a Switch 2 yet, so I was holding out. It was good motivation to finish Carpoon by saying I'll get a Switch 2 after it's out. Also, I kind of had one at one point at my friend's place, but it was going to be $300 to ship to me, so it still is probably there. I think Carpoon would need like reconnecting controllers, so it would have to have that, and probably there'd be some performance things I might have to take a look at. The lava level in Carpoon, although it improved with the conveyor belts, that's kind of just like rendered every frame, and that was pretty. It's more taxing than the other levels. Okay. I'll probably do this the easy way too and just bump up the image index. Okay, well that's good to hear about Switch. Yeah, so in Carpoon, one thing that used to happen is that all the controllers would change order every round depending on like who pressed the button first. So I did spend like a couple months at the end of last year to kind of save the order of the controllers. So when you enter Carpoon the first time compared to the second round, it's handled different where oh, you saw it. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And so that stuff, like I never wanted to touch again. Okay. But it did help. It did help like the players who were kind of getting confused with the order and stuff. So it was worth it. I think I had a choice. I could have done it the easier way with input, or the way I kind of like thought would be easier with like not much effort. And then I got too deep into the way without input to like save the order, where I wish I just did it like 100% with input in the end. But I don't know if that's lesson learned or or what, but yeah. Oh, thank you. That was inspired by Treadnuts. I got to meet Nick came in one time at GDC, and when he was still working on Treadnuts before Aggro Crab. And Treadnuts has a mode when all the players come in, there's like a little playground for them to shoot around in. I thought that was super fun. And it was a lot more entertaining than just having, you know, a million menus. I think Nick is doing fine now with Peak coming out. So another like full circle for a new multiplayer game. One thing though, in that area, I thought of I thought I might have to push it further one day to have wires coming from the sides, and like you see an electric charge go and change the settings. That was something like sometimes players still think they have to drag one of the floating icons, which I made float, and they think they have to drag it to the middle. So like this, the level signs, I make it so the harpoon like lets go after a second, but I might have to do that for the modes too. It's like that thing where sometimes a solution creates a new problem. I'll have to print this out to screen. I was talking to someone who's GameMaker, who uses a lot. And I was asking, do you use the GameMaker debug? And they're like, no, I just print messages to the screen. And I thought, does everyone just print messages to the screen instead of using GameMaker's debug? It was funny. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like to see it happening live, but it is something I'll try to get used to. Like this was Paul Hubens working on Madhouse that I was talking to, who worked on UFO 50. So, but at the same time, they didn't use version control. I guess I didn't use version control either. I just kind of put it in a zip file and save it. Okay. Gotta make sure we're actually getting into these. Oh, I can't remember it off the top of my head. I feel ashamed. This is not the one I wanted, but I'll take it. There we go. That's be way too many messages, but it'll maybe work. I think building used to be a bit quicker to compiling it before adding some of the Steam stuff. It's kind of interesting to hear Jonathan Blow talk on one of his live streams about like compiling in a second for a major game. That's like, I'm sure it makes a difference for development. Okay, that's not broken from the widescreen stuff. That's good. And I'll have to move this to a monitor where I can see it. No, it doesn't look like it's detecting this part. I think it's probably not setting that, so the settings are a little bit different than how cars and stuff are handled, so I'll just add it back to it. Tony, was the post game just finding more bananas, or is it kind of like Mario Galaxy? I'll definitely say I think working on more tools like this is something I do. Like, I saw some examples where people show the debug text like and a whole bunch of different layers on the side showing up. Yeah, it's probably more powerful functions I could use. You don't know the full scope of Always More Bananas. Okay, it's similar to Mario Odyssey. Okay. Okay. Okay, I inherit that stuff. So I might have just been getting the wrong variable. It's a problem with building a project for years. Sometimes like I would forget about something that existed already and create something else that did the same purpose. I think that might do it. If not, I have that one other option of the harpoon. I always I always think of like live streaming while programming, like just the equivalent of patting your head and rubbing your stomach and trying to do both. Yeah. Antonio and Oscar, I am jealous. You guys both beating Donkey Kong Bonanza. Soon enough for me, soon enough. Okay. Okay, that's working at least. Oh, yeah, that was it. Sweet. So now I can go in and actually, I don't know if it matters. Like, it's nice, it's snappy. I'll check what it's like if I do it with an alarm timer. Which one was working too? It's already done this probably a million times. Okay, well, both of them are working. I'll stick with the input method. Yeah, this will just make it quicker for players choosing the options, but eventually I'll have it save the last options for every round too. No, that might have broke it. probably, I'll have to change it so you can't change your color on the fly when doing this. Hello, HPR Shredder. Hayden, how's it going? I guess what's good is there's another episode from waiting for Nintendo to listen to later. Or that Carpoon is out now. Either one. But I'm already past the launch now. I'm more excited to listen to the 7 scales of a Nintendo game. No, I had some feedback to make it to change options quicker, so I'm just working on that right now. Maybe, I don't think pressing A is as obvious. Like, it would work. I could do either. And because one thing too, if I'm holding down, I can't have it, like, I don't want to use the right bumper, so you have to hold it like a claw. I'd only use the L bumper. And I was thinking of maybe making it so you use the analog sticks for these at one point, but then you're moving around like that. No, but I thought I'd do a Carpoon stream. I was honestly too tired yesterday and I wanted to fix my bike. So I did that. Just doing a quick one. I had said I wouldn't do any more dev streams until it was out at that time, and so I kept my word. And now doing post-launch updates. Well, Antonio and Oscar are in post-game Donkey Kong Bonanza. Hayden, you have a Mac. You have a Mac, so I'm not too concerned about it. If you had a Steam Deck, though, I'd be mad. No. Yeah, that too. Hayden, I'll show you something because you can't see it. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? This is going to be the second time I show the credits today. Brace yourself. It's down near the end, I'm sorry. But I don't have a button to speed it up. Keep going. Oh, Antonio with the great sticker. I have to do the hot dog sticker now. I have to print it. There might be another place I can print it at. Okay. There you go. Brandon helped with the original trailer. Yeah. Yeah, so since the original one, I put it there. I kind of figured I knew most of the skills to the other trailer and also left it far too late to be asking anyone. Yeah, no, thank you for like the boost of energy at the end here. So yeah, I think the left bumper is fine for this. Maybe I can have A button too. I wonder how broken this is making everything. I'm going to bring in a second player. Because I have it so co-op. Co-op changes. Okay, that looks like it's normal. Yeah. I think it's more if I have it so you have infinite lives. I don't want infinite time. No, that's a good goal, Oscar. And good night. Thank you for dropping by. I will let you know if I end up ever starting that Twitch stream or a Twitch channel. Yeah, just start. If you start, I'm not going to say it's easier than you think, but you'll be taking one step towards it. Okay, that's infinite lives. So that's what I want to avoid. To have infinite lives and infinite time. I think I can add in that check. Okay, so no color and check. If there's infinite lives, just skip another one. I'm pretty sure it should work. Oh. Yeah, I didn't need both of this. I might have put that in the live settings, but I'll have to add it here. Yeah, I'll probably do that and just end for the day. So yeah, it's just about lunch over here. Okay. Yeah, and I am thinking hats later on could be an update after the bosses. It's like potential updates will be like bosses, endless mode, hats, and maybe a new level. Even if it was a new level for Park and Panic style, like I had like this one, I can make it wider. Maybe add a roundabout in the middle. Yeah, the monster truck boss. I promised a monster truck boss after launch, so that's something I'll be doing. And I have an idea. I have ideas for the other bosses, like in Volcarnage Island. Let me see. This semi could come down and chase you. And then in the Auto Works, I was kind of thinking it could be like the that Zelda boss who has like a million eyes around it. I was thinking it could be the monster truck with a bunch of eyes around it, and somehow you have to get the eyes off to hurt it. It's either that or one of my friends joked about a AT-AT, like one of those walking things from Star Wars. And like there's those and you have to spin around it and trip it. So those are some ideas. And I always kind of thought a future level might be fun. Basically just inspired by Future Funland from Diddy Kong Racing. But I'll see how much more energy I have to keep going. Because there are like new other games I might want to start work on as well. Okay, here, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think I have to check. I think the monster truck, like I did all the art already, so it won't be too bad. The others, I'll have to do art on. And I say that, but I might have to redo the tires, so I might, I might regret those words. Okay, let's just solve this. Doing this, it could be one frame where it doesn't have these settings. I'll copy it over. Like that would be the bug to check. Like if you do this exactly in one frame, you can get different settings. Okay, now let's make sure. Let's just see that. We don't want colors to change while harpooning. Maybe I could just say if you're grappling, you can't change colors. It could be an easy way to do it. And I think we wanted the A button here. So that's GP face 1. if GameMaker will recognize it. I might have typed in L instead of 1. There we go. Doing a check pressed is nice instead of just check, because if I do check, it'll change every frame. This will only do it once on the button press. And player, if you're harpooning, don't change the color. Now I have it. I know grappling's if you are being harpooned, but maybe I'll just make it so if you're not hitting that darn can. You would think I'd know very easily what it's harpooning, but I do not. Oh wait, this will be the way to go, I think. Yeah, put in a separate check here. GameMaker's slowing down. I've searched for too many things. So close. So close to having launch as well. Okay, we'll see how broken that is. And then I'll end it. So I got a small trailer update to do. I had feedback from Derek Liu, like the world's #1 game trailer guy. He said I should put 1 to 4 players way earlier in the trailer, so I might do that right after the title and update it on Steam And then I'll have to post-launch, pre-launch. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Post-launch, pre-launch stream, yeah. Good thing I'm not also by a river. Okay, so that's infinite lives. We shouldn't be able to go to infinite time here now. Ah! Well, we could not because I crashed the game. Is this O stock settings? Setting keys. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't found here. So yes, we were successful in not having infinite lives and infinite time. Unfortunately, we crashed the game. Fuck, yeah. It's like how careful you'd have to be if you ever made a wish with all the like ifs and terms and conditions. All right, all right. No! Oh, it's O menu dot number of stock. I see now. It's I was pressing Control B instead of Control V there. Okay, let's check that. And if colors aren't changing, which I don't think they were. I'll have to make sure you can change colors normally after. I think having it so if you're harpooning something, you can't change colors is fine. Okay. I can change colors with the left bumper. I can't change it with the right bumper now. But let's see. All right. Okay, it's not crashing. That's good. And oh, I'm still changing colors. Oh, okay. I made it so unless I'm harpooning this, I can't. So that's with the right bumper, but now on the right bumper, I can't change colors. Okay, so I somehow did the opposite. And okay, that seems to be working. I'll have to check when one person is holding it and changing options. Well, I can try. I can try right now. Okay. So you're on that. I believe this works. Oh, yeah, so I saw Calling All Cars. I might have played it once, but I regret I didn't buy it on PlayStation 3, and it's one of those games that just never was out again. But I do hear that sometimes, so I regret not playing that one and picking it up. I played more like RC Pro Am, and I played, what else? No, I'd say RC Pro Am was one I kind of thought about, and like Retro City Rampage, kind of like the 2D Grand Theft Auto. I kind of use that as inspiration for how the sprites turn around. No, I think, there's always probably a way to play an old game, but I'll see if I can track that one down. There was one called Jambo Safari by Sega, which was kind of like a Crazy Taxi spin-off. And kind of just talking about that game was the main kind of inspiration for hunting down cars. And I finally played that one about a month ago. Or not a month, no, I think it was just 2 weeks ago. And it is very different. I think very different than Carpoon. Especially because it's single player. But yeah, no, David Jaffe made Calling All Cars, so I think, yeah, I'll have to try it. One of my friends probably still has it. Okay, all we want to do is make sure we can't change colors, and I'll call it a day. So she brought the PS3, your girlfriend brought the PS3, she had in high school back to ours, and we played a little. Still a fan. Well, that's good to hear. It still holds up, so I'll hope to track it down one day. I could watch more gameplay videos, but it's not the same as playing it. Okay, so it's a super simple premise, but fun and local multiplayer. Miss these kind of games more and more. Well, yeah, it's very hard to get people to play local multiplayer. Like, it has to be, there has to be some single player really, and multiplayer. Like, I was talking to one developer, and they said make sure to have single player in your game, which probably added years to development time, but yeah, I love couch co-op local multiplayer games. They don't exist that much anymore. And I guess more people are just playing the big multiplayer games, so they don't try them out as much. And sometimes too, it's hard to get into people's rotation with them. Like, I still play Star Wall and Needhog. There are a few new ones. I was playing Astro Duel 2, and that's one I'd like to get more friends playing. But even, I guess if it was local multiplayer type style but online, that could be a way to get more people in. There has been the new kind of 4-player game with voice proximity chat, starting with Lethal Company. That's kind of interesting. I enjoy those games. It is a bit different, but at least there's that. Yeah, friend slop. Yeah. I didn't know I didn't know they were called friend slop. I've seen slop more for that new karting game. I am not much on the Roblox scene. Okay, so if we do this, we don't want to change color. We want to say if this is false. And why is this? I lost my other color there. Yeah, you love that Roblox kids grew up to make low fidelity proximity chat horror games. Yeah. Like I'm wondering, like, should I be using Roblox to prototype games? Like I don't fully like throw that idea out the window. But yeah, I guess it's a neat tool they can use. When my nephew showed me Roblox, I'm like, this looks like garbage, is what I thought. And now one of my other nephews who like had Switch and would play Carpoon and stuff, now he's like at an age as a teenager, he's like only playing games on a phone, and I'm like, no. I did not teach you to be this way, but I guess it's where all his other friends are. Yeah, it's so crazy growing if you don't look up on it. Yeah. Well, I guess so many of us grew up on pixel art, and maybe that looks weird to some people. But maybe now people who grew up in 3D games don't like the look of pixel art too. So yeah, they love Minecraft. That is true. My nephew did play Minecraft. Yeah, that's what it's getting with Roblox. It's basically hard to have the open mind to be trying it out. So learning one of the Spider-Man era never soft devs transitioned fully into making Roblox content. Yeah, yes, like I guess that's why, like, you hear people becoming an indie dev but do that full time. Like some of them went to like Fortnite engine. I remember hearing that, where it's like not just Unreal Engine but Fortnite only. I think I had one old friend that went from EA to Roblox. I'm like, what's he doing? And then I hear about how well Roblox is doing later, and it's like, oh, I guess that made sense. No, but now with Carpoon out, I'll think about, yeah, it seems alien. So, and that's one thing, if they've grown up playing it, they have an advantage to know what works and what doesn't. They're a bit more intuitive with it than if I just hopped in, for instance, and tried it out. It's like, hello, fellow Roblox players. How do you do? Here's a game I made. Even weirder than your typical mobile fare. Yeah. Okay, that's working again. No, but there are more types of games that I do want to be checking out. I think now with Carpoon out, I do want to be trying more prototypes again. So I'll have to decide, like, if it's worth it to try other platforms. Like I tried Unreal recently. Color's still changing. But like, or to just stick with GameMaker. Oh, let me check that. Okay, you can't change the right color anymore. No, I have one friend though that wants to make a puzzle game in GameMaker, so that'd be kind of fun to help him on a team. It'll be a small project too, so that'd be a neat one. Yeah, the tools you pick end up shaping the kind of thing you make ultimately. Yeah, one of my friends is using Unreal Engine, and they had spent a lot more time on the graphics and stuff. But then they're a 3D artist, so it benefits them. Curious to see what direction you go. Oh yeah, I hope one of them is like, make sure I make enough money to live. That'll be, that'll be one direction. But in games, like this is my art style. I do want to like get back to drawing more again and improving to be faster making it. I'd probably not choose something where I have to draw like 10 different frames going around, but yeah, let's see. I will probably do more prototypes and see what ends up being popular. Okay. Okay, oddly that's still changing the color. So I think I had this down further somewhere. Oh yeah. I had forward or backwards. All I do is scroll down a tiny bit. Oh, now I need two ways. Okay. Okay, let's make this 0. Yeah, one of my goals though, because like I wanted to kind of prove I could finish making a game. So I did want to do more team projects after. I've done some team game jams now. So hopefully continue that, because like I can work by myself for a long time, and then I like might be doing things some super inefficient way and not know it. So it's neat to maybe learn sometimes with someone with more experience, or or help someone who doesn't know as much and like help them get their goal done. Okay. Well, let's be 2. Yeah, this is GameMaker. I've searched or had too many windows open. It's getting to the point where it's like you have to close GameMaker to make it go faster again. Okay, I think that'll do it. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of working as is. I think that's pretty obvious, but I might add some game juice there when you're changing the time, because like I could add in that flicker, but it'd be slower. No, that's great. And then I'll apply it to the keys too, and it'll be a lot faster to toggle these options. And maybe the paint can. And that'll kind of be part of that Steam reviews feedback, and easier for me to go through everything. No, but thank you everyone for dropping by. I think that'll be about it for today. And it's really neat talking to you, Lynn. So thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you dropping by, and thank you for all the great work and input. No problem. Good night, everybody. Yeah, I usually try to alternate like a dev stream with maybe playing a game stream. That's what I like to do. Thank you, Antonio, for staying so long. Good night.